Hello, welcome to Sunset Studios. Today we are going to make this awesome dinosaur. Super easy, and we start with a similar shaped rock. So it's oval. I tried to choose a big rock because it's easier to do the design rather than something tiny. And the first step, as you can see, I've already kind of drawn it in pencil, but I'm going to show you again, is to just take your pencil and I'm having trouble seeing my line. Here it is. Just make a line that's supposed to be the ground, straight across. Okay? And then your next step is, again, I always like to start with that eye, right? Right there. So I'm going to make a nice big half circle, and then I'm going to go around. I kind of left a little spot for the nose, and then I'm going to keep going around until the curve hits the line. Then I'm going to go back to the eye, just a little curve there to finish the head, then his neck, and then I start heading up to the little bump, which is his body, and I'm going back down, and I'm looping right around to do his tail. And then I just come back down to the ground. And then after we paint, we'll put in some of the details like his leg and his mouth, okay, and his teeth. So that's all for now. I'm going to pour my paint and we'll be ready to go. My paint is poured, and my first step is to paint his body white. White, you're thinking, but it's green. It is green, but I like to start with white because I won't need as many coats of the green. This is a pretty dark rock, so this will just make it easier. It's like priming. When you paint a wall, you usually have to paint it white first before your color. So it's the same idea. Okay. So now the only tricky part on this is that we don't have the background color white or blue or like I've done in some other rocks. So that means you have to be extra careful, go a little slower than maybe normal, just so that, because you don't want to get the white paint in the background because you won't be able to hide it. Or you might all of a sudden have to paint the background if you do, which is fine. Not such a big deal. But I do like the natural background in this design. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. Start coming up for the tail. I finish this. Okay, that's the basic shape. Now I'm going to dry it, and I probably will put another coat of white. Okay, so I've got my dry white design, and now I'm going to take green paint, and I'm going to go right over the white, being very careful not to get the green on the natural color of the stone. But again, it's a rock. If you mess up, the beauty of a rock is you can always paint over it. You could paint the background, and it's just a rock, right? So you haven't spent any money buying it. It's your canvas, but it's nice and easy to fix. That's what I love about rock painting. It's forgiving. Okay, so as you see, I'm going to finish painting this green, and then I'm going to dry it and put another coat. Okay, so now I've got my 2 coats painted on my dinosaur, and what I've done is I've taken my pencil and I have just drawn in the little scales. They look almost like triangles with a curve to them. And I've gone all around one side of his body, all the way up his tail, and I've made his mouth, which is basically a straight line that curves in. I threw a few teeth on there, triangle shaped, and I made his leg, his back leg, which is just kind of like that, and a little itty bitty arm sticking out. Okay, so now I'm ready to take my thin brush. I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to use the pale yellow paint. If you wanted a brighter yellow, you could do that, or whatever color you choose. Okay, so I'm just going to start doing his, I don't even know what these are called, scales. That's what I'm calling them. But anyway, they're pretty small, so if you have a small brush, that's the way to go. Or if you have a bunch of paint pens that are different colors, you could use those. You know, a yellow or whatever color you like. I do have some paint pens, so I really could be doing that, but for some reason, I prefer using the paint for something like this. And I'm just going right around. And these are going to get outlined, so they don't have to be too perfect. One more little bit here. Okay, and now I am ready for some white paint to do the teeth over here, if you can see. So it's just a triangle shape. And one more there. Okay, and now I'm going to get my paint pen. I'm going to use the thicker paint pen to outline him. And again, I like using the paint pens. It makes the design pop. And I'm just going to extend all the way out. And one thing I forgot to do, but you know what? While I have the paint pen, let me finish this. So I've got his little arm. Okay, and then his hind leg. It's just going to be like that. Oops. Okay, and then his eye, just making black. His nose. And I'm going to make that mouth, outline those teeth. Okay, and then I'm going to go back and outline each of these yellow scales. I might add another coat of yellow onto them. I won't show you that in the video. I'll just do it. Just to make that yellow pop a little more. Again, you don't have to. There. Okay, now the only other thing to do, is to take my thicker brush and to take the black paint, and you don't even have to do this, but I like how it looks, is I'm just going to paint the ground black. Just to make it stand out a little more. I could just leave it the natural color. Absolutely, but I like how it looks. So again, try to go nice and slow, which I'm not doing. And that is our dinosaur. I hope you enjoyed this video, and you'll give me a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Take care.